I was 13. I met this girl who changed my life forever, but not in the way I expected. What started off as my first love turned into a lustful trap that still haunts me to this day. And if you fuck up, it may just haunt you too. So watch it to the end so you can avoid it. This takes place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're gonna call this girl Laya. I actually met this girl on Snapchat. I hit her up on Snap. I'm like, yo, what's up? Because I saw she was doing a little put me on your Snapchat, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to get yourself out there a bit. You know, she's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, you want to be best friends? I know what you fucking thinking. Like, bro, how the fuck did you become best friends with a stranger you never met before? Okay, listen, I'm just trying to see what's up. You know what I'm saying? I'm a young nigga. I'm trying to see what's up. So, you trying to be best friends? She like, yeah, she with it. I'm like, cool. I didn't know this girl from a can of fucking paint. So I go to school the next day. You know, everybody's obviously, you know, ganging up, clicking up with their clicks, whatever and whatnot. I see this girl. I'm like, hold on. This looked the same fucking girl who I just became best friends with. You gotta understand, I don't have no game. I'm still shy. I'm not even as comfortable in my skin yet. You know, I see her, I'm like, damn, she look fine. She just walked past me. And I just look. In my mind, I'm like, is that her? Is that really her? Or is that just some other girl? So I'm like, whatever, you know? So that was pretty much the start of the day. But then we're going in the first period, right? For some reason, I'm coming back from the bathroom and I see her again as she's going into her class. And then I see one of her friends say, hey, yeah, aren't you Lala's best friend? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I swear, this is some shit straight out of a fucking anime, fucking little high school musical. I'll walk over there and now she's like looking at me. I'm like, what's up? She like, hey. And then I like tried to go in for a handshake and she tried to go in for a hug. So it was like it was so fucking awkward. I'm like, type shit. All right, I'm gonna see you later. And I go over to my class. And honestly, bro, that has to be one of the most top tier fucking cringiest moments of my life. I still remember that shit to this day, bro. Why the fuck can't I just say, hey, what's up? Hug. Oh yeah, how you know what I'm saying? But I didn't understand back then what being social was. You feel me? I wasn't used to that, especially with a female. You feel me? After I met her, right? Now it's the stage of getting to know her, of course. Me being non-confrontational, I pretty much text her. Yes, I was one of those niggas. I text her, I'm like, yo, what you doing? She like, nothing, just leaving school. It's like, yeah, let's hop on the phone. I said, OTP question mark? She like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, okay. Okay, shit. So we hop on the phone. We just talking, just getting acquainted, you know. I'm learning about what she like, what I like to do, what she like to do. I was playing fucking Fortnite, a Fortnite lobby, just fucking around. But I'm on the phone with her, just listening to her talk. And she like, yeah, I like this, you know. My favorite color is blue. And, you know, we just kind of chopping it up. It's like a cool conversation, you know. I'm like, okay, cool, you know. So, you know, yeah, okay. You got a boyfriend or anything? She like, no, but I'm talking to somebody. The fuck you mean you talking to somebody? So, okay, motherfucker, now this motherfucker talking to somebody. Motherfucker, you just started the damn school year. How the fuck are you talking to somebody? Okay, cool. Just so happens, this person she's talking to happens to be one of my homeboys. We gonna call him T. Now she's talking to my homeboy T. I'm like, oh my gosh. She ended up getting into a relationship with T. It was kind of awkward. I'm gonna tell you why it was kind of awkward. Because I would be cool with him and he'll be telling me what's going on with her and, you know, shit. I'm like, oh yeah. But then I would be cool with her and then she telling me shit and we talking, having like some deep conversation and shit. You know, it was just kind of like one of those. So pretty much they ended up breaking up. Why? She ended up cheating on this nigga, this one dude named Mari. And I'm just like, hey, do y'all, you know, do y'all. Do y'all. So everybody in the school is like, oh, she's a cheater, she's a fucking whore, she's no fucking good, oh, just no good fucking dirty ass girl, you know. They just all there, they just talking bad about her, you know. But at the end of the day, they're still my best friend. So I'm like, hey. And it was a video. I saw the video, I ain't gonna lie, that shit hurt me more than it hurt here. I'm like, damn. After, you know, they broke up, you know, it was a few days after. I'm like, damn, you know, I was kind of fucked up. It's like, yeah, I know, you know, I kind of liked it too. I was like, damn, you cold. But, you know, I'm like, cool. There's nothing justifying why you did that shit. That was still some fuck shit, low down dirty shit, but I still kind of fuck with you and you kind of cute. So, you know, I'm texting her at this point. I'm like, you trying to go to the movies? She like, yeah, let's do it. So my mama is driving me to the movies now. I think her dad is dropping her off. So, you know, her dad, go ahead and drop her off. Okay, I'm on the way too. Boom, we get to the movies. You know, I see her. I'm like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see what's up with her. You know, she like, yeah, how you doing? I walk over to her. You know, I'm like, hey, you ready to go see this movie? She's like, yeah. So, long story short, we pretty much going to movies. We watched the movie. Got a little touchy. You know, I had a little. I didn't want to do. Oh gosh, and she was drawn, and she kind of leaned into me, and then we were just watching the movie. We was vibing. After that, we went into this like game room because within the movie theater is like this game room. You know, all these games and shit. We just sitting down. You know, it's like a little arcade. And we just talking and chopping it up. And like, yeah, you know, I really enjoyed that movie. You know, I really like spending time with you. I'm like, I enjoy spending time with you too. I think she just sat on my lap. And then, you know, we kissed. I know you like, bro, you low key a weird ass nigga. Like, you that's your homeboy ex. They just got a relationship. You already was listen. I was already pursuing that, and he decided to jump his ass in front as I'm in pursuit. And that's not gonna slow down my pursuit. I'ma just maneuver a bit. I was a young nigga. It is what it is. A few weeks later after that, you know, we still in contact. We still chopping it up. We still on the phone. We still kicking it, you know. I think it was one day I said, hey, you know, I know I'm your best friend and all, but I type in, catch your feelings, you know, you trying to make this official? She said, what you mean? I'm like, oh, she be my girl. She like, okay. I was waiting for you to ask me. Now I'm in a relationship with Lila. Okay, now I'm in a full-blown relationship with Lila. You know, now everything's going smooth. It's going cool. I'm in the zone. You know, I'm on my own. I'm doing what I do. Cool. So we got into a relationship pretty much at the end of 8th grade. Now we're going into high school. However, we're going to 2 different high schools. At this point, you know, we starting to get a lot more intimate, y'all. You know, we on the phone more. We sending videos. We sending naughty pictures and all type of scandalous things to each other. And we enjoying it. You know, we young, we teenagers. We just trying to have some fun. You feel me? So we wanted to start really doing the do. It is now, I'll say, about July 18th, my birthday. And on my birthday, I wanted to go swimming. You know, I want to go swimming with my friends, and I want to go swimming with my girl. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, cool, let's go to Noise. If y'all know what Noise is, it's like a swimming pool, a swimming little, you know, a sand little spot in Milwaukee, a water park, indoor water park. My friends, I got my homeboy, his name Pat, my homeboy Jay, a girl named Yaya, then I got Lila. So me and my friends, we go to the swimming pool, right? We in Noise, we chilling, we chopping it up. You know, my girl pull up. My plan from the jump was to get my girl back to my crib. Nobody else, just me and her for some one-on-one time. So after the swimming pool, fast forward, you feel me? We go ahead like, hey, I asked her like, you want to come back to my crib? You know, I got to get a few things. You know, I got to also wash up. You know, I'm just trying to make up some excuses so I can, you know, exclude us from them. And then one of my homeboys, you know, my homeboy Pat, he like, yo, you know, you want me to go with you, bro? I'm like, nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? She gonna go with me. He like, okay. He already knew he knew it was up, though. He knew it was up, so cool. You know what I'm saying? Me and Lila, we walking back to the crib now. You feel me? So we go ahead, we walking. You know, I'm just talking to her like, yeah, damn, that swimming pool was crazy. You know, I'm just making like some little dirty remarks like, damn, look good what you was wearing too. She like, boy, stop. Now we back at my crib, you know? She's like, what you had to get? I said, what I had to get? You know I had to get nothing. I was trying to see what was up with you. Shit, you like, hey, now I'm kind of flowing. I'm in my bag a little bit. She like, is that so? So boom, we get to talking. And then one thing leads to another. We get to kissing. And then boom, we on the couch. We are in our own world. We doing what we do. Then my mama, tell me when my mama go ahead, she fucking called like, yeah, I'm outside. I'm what? So she opened the garage. We gotta stop. We gotta kind of get ourselves together and shit. So we get in the car. We go back. I didn't get to do what I really wanted to do that day, but it's okay though, because we made some progress. You gotta think long term. That's what we on right now. We ran the same play again. And I think this was a few weeks after the original game plan. You know, the game plan was, you know, we tell our parents, we tell everybody, yeah, we're going to the swimming pool. Whole time she's actually gonna come back to my crib so we can solidify the crush. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get right, okay? This time it's me and then it's her, but it's her cousins want to tag along too. Somebody always wants to fucking tag along, but I'm like, okay, cool. So he's pretty much like, okay, yeah, we in here, we're going swimming, yeah. We go to the swimming pool. I tell him like, yeah, we finna go back to the crib real quick. He like, what y'all going back to the crib for? I'm like, we finna go play 2K. He said, what? I wanna go play 2. I'm like, bro. I said, nah, it's just me and her. I gotta teach her how to play and shit. He like, yeah, you right. You gotta teach her the dribble moves. I'm like, yeah. This nigga didn't know. I don't know how this shit work. I'm like, yeah, bro. So you just stay here. We'll be right back, bro. He like, all right, cool. I'm finna go swimming. So he goes swimming. You know what I'm saying? He not too much younger than us. He probably like 3 years younger than us. So we go ahead. We go to the crib. Now it is time to solidify the crush. We get into the crib. First thing we do, we go to my room. We just talking, we chopping it up. I came prepared this time. This time, I had some whipped cream and I had some strawberries. So you know what I'm saying? I can't get too much in detail what I was doing, but you feel me? I went ahead. We got on the bed. We were starting to get to doing the do. It got to this point where I tried to insert my coin into her coin machine. However, her coin machine, it wasn't ready to go yet. I'm sitting here trying to stick my coin into her coin machine, but her coin machine isn't accepting my coin. It's not accepting the damn coin. So I keep going and going and going. At this point, it's like, okay, this is hurting. I'm like, She said, maybe we should do this. I said, no, hold on. I'm still trying to figure out how to insert my coin into her coin machine. And I had this like pissed off look on my face, like, oh fucking God. Like, and then she saw me. So she looks back and then she just stopped. She said, I'm good. And she puts, and then she's like starting to put on her clothes. I'm like, where you going? Hold on. What we doing here? We making some progress. You can't just abandon the mission like that. But she like, nah, you just, I don't know why you got that look on your face. You looking at me like I'm just some disgusting piece of shit, and I don't like that. She getting that air in the plumber. I don't really like that. I don't really like that. And she started to put on her clothes. And I'm like, hold on. So now I'm like in this 90s R&B music video, like putting on my shit. She like leaving. I'm like, hold on. Wait, I'm motherfucking like trying to chase her down on some shit. It's like some shit straight out of a fucking movie. I'm just kind of walking behind her. I'm like, where you going? Hold on, what we doing? I'm still putting on my damn clothes as I'm coming out the crib. I only got my shirt all the way on, but I finally get it on. I'm like, hold on now. Hey, look, she said, I saw the way you looked at me, and I don't really like that. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this motherfucker just don't get it. It's like, why are women so emotional? That's what I was thinking at the time. I'm like, cool, I can't really tell her that exactly. But okay, cool. So I'll go ahead though. We get to a certain point. I'm like, all right. And then she like turn around, she hugged me, and then she walk off. I'm like, type shit. And I just go back to the crib. What the fuck else could I do, my nigga? You feel me? If no means no. I'm not the type of nigga that's gonna come here. No, I'm not. Get over it. I'm not that type of nigga. So I'm like, cool, you do you. I'm gonna go back to the crib. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? She make it to her peoples. I go ahead, I go back to the crib, and that was that. After that situation, we had a few more incidences just like that. It was like every time I tried to insert my coin into her coin machine, every time we tried to get together, it just didn't work. And it finally came to me on the 7th try. And I know you on the 7th try, it finally came to me. I gotta get this coin machine oiled up. I gotta actually get it going. I'm like, oh, I gotta make sure the play beforehand is on point so I can get the coin machine going, if you get what I mean. I'm like, okay, cool. So on the 7th time, we finally go ahead and we do it. And it's a successful mission. Cool. Okay, cool. Now, I finally lost my V card at the age of 14. How do I feel? Amazing. Because I've just experienced what no man, or not a lot of men or a lot of boys at my age, have experienced. I've just experienced something great, something spontaneous, something that feels like heaven. After we did it for the first time, it became kind of a consistent thing. At first, it was a lot of love. It was a lot of going on dates. It was a lot of, me trying to, just really get to know this individual for who she is and just try to, you feel me? But it got to the point where I was only calling her up because, hey, you ready? You know what I'm saying? When she thinking it's going to be a date, whole time, this love is now turning into lust. I'm not loving her. I'm starting to lust her. So I call her up, hey, let's do this. Boom, boom. We doing it damn near every other week, at least 4 times a month. You feel me? Hey, people get paid twice a month. We doing it 4 times a month. You feel me? That's how much we doing it. We doubled the rate. Okay, cool. So we and the more we did it, the more and more I fell into the trap of lust. I'm not looking at this girl as somebody I actually want to like be with for the long term. No, I'm just trying to get my rocks off. Maybe at the time I was thinking, yeah, I can be with this girl for the long term. No, I was thinking about the benefits I could get from being with this girl for the long term. I wasn't actually wanting to be with this girl for the rest of my life. I had to just understand that and be like, okay, cool. So now this is about a year later. At the end of our sophomore year, it came into the summer. where my birthday was July 18th. At this point, around my birthday, we still going back and forth, doing the do and, doing things that we really shouldn't be doing, but, we enjoying it. My friends wanted to go out to this little event called Deer District. They was gonna go out, they was finna go talk to some girls, they was finna, what I'm saying? They want to just be outside, they want to be free. And at the time, this relationship is starting to get stressful. There was a time where this guy grabbed her ass at her school because it was like a truth or dare, and I guess somebody dared him to do it and she was like no, and then it was like a lot of arguing. It got more and more toxic. The only time we'd usually feel good is honestly when we're doing lustful activities. And I'm gonna be real with you, I want to see other people. I want to explore my options. That was my mindset. However, I don't want to fuck this person over. So what did I do? I'll go ahead and I break up with her. I broke up with this girl. After I broke up with her, I started watching a lot more porn, and I'm just watching it, and I'm really just in the mindset of objectifying women. I want to build a lustful connection. I want to build something very lustful so I can satisfy my pleasures, because I only see women as objects to satisfy my needs now. That was my mindset. Back then, I felt like I loved that girl, and I felt like I didn't want to just do her like that, so I broke up with her before I started to go on my villain arc. Okay, let's call it that. So after that, I started seeing other women. I started watching more porn. I started putting myself in all of these different situations of lustful activity. One even being almost got shot. Another one, I couldn't even get hard one time. Another one, it was just I'm sneaking out of state to go on a 2-man so I can get some ass. I realized after I lost my virginity at a very young age, at 14, it definitely shaped my life in a way that changed the way I saw women. I didn't look at them as people I wanted to get to know. I just wanted to look at them and get to know them as people I could fuck, as people I could go ahead and get off my nut. I didn't want to sit down and get to really know this motherfucker for who they were inside and out. I wanted to get to know them for who they were inside and out, if you get what I'm saying. I didn't really want to get to know them in that way. I didn't give a fuck about that. I just wanted to lust. So I just had to understand, the more and more I keep going down this path, though, the more and more I'm going away from God. The more and more I'm indulging in lustful activities and ruining my chances to actually meet good women I can actually build a genuine connection with. I know I'm young, but I'm thinking long term. I am basically a sophomore in college, even though I don't go to college. I'm 19. But I'm just telling you this to say, be careful who you lose your V card to, and then also be mindful of what is going to happen after. If you want to truly master your mindset, overcome your lust, go ahead and join my school community. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be posting every single day. I'll see y'all later.